What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back, everyone. This is Lee, and yes, today's the day we'll be talking about the SHIMBOL TP Mini. So with all that said, let's begin. So right before we get started, I want to point out that SHIMBOL, they did send this unit to me for evaluation. However, as usual, all opinions are my own opinions about the product. So with all that out the way, let's talk about the TP Mini by SHIMBOL. Now, this particular device will allow to convert your monitor wirelessly, so you don't need any cable when you're viewing your screen. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to set this up. We'll go through some testing with the distance range, and also we'll take a look at the heat test on this unit. So with that in mind, let's take a look around the unit. So the SHIMBOL TP Mini is made out of pure aluminum. It's very straightforward, very simple. So on the side, you have your HDMI outputs and your USB-C plugs right here. You got two HDMI outputs right here if you want to stream through two monitors. Also, if you look at the TX and the RX, this is the transmitter and this is the receiver, so you know which one is which. It's kind of hidden because of the dragon design, but just take a closer look at the lettering, you'll see the RX and the TX. So just please keep that in mind when you're installing this. And if you take a look at the side of the unit, you'll see a power bar right here. There's no battery yet, so we'll get into that in a bit. But you see the play button, which will show you the power bar, which again, I'll show you guys that in a minute. Also, this is the pairing button. And this is an on and off switch if you want to turn on and off your transmitter and your receiver. And at the bottom, you get your quarter screw mount. On the back part, this is your MPF battery. And here is the release button right here for your MPF battery right here. And also you could power this with USB-C if you want to as well. So with that in mind, let me set this up for you guys. So one moment. Now for this example, I'm going to use the Viltrox DC-X3 right over here, but you guys can use whatever monitor you have. So with that said, let me bring out the MPF battery. All right, here we go. You want to get the transmitter right over here, TX. You want to plug in to HDMI in for this unit. And let me plug this into the camera. One moment. HDMI mini right here. All right, we got that plugged in. Now for the receiver, you could plug whichever you want since they're both out. And you could plug this into the in portion right here. Now plug in your battery. And so before we get started, let's make sure we have some battery. Oh, let me turn it on. There we go. And I do have battery in this unit. You turn it off and turn it on. And for the pairing, you could just hold these two buttons together for the pairing. And once that's done, turn on your camera. And I also need a battery for this unit. One moment. I almost forgot you need a battery for the monitor as well. So let me plug this in. So the latency is only like a fraction of a second, so you're not missing much when you're filming wirelessly. So let's take a look at the distance, because right now we're just right next to each other. I'm gonna go to room with walls in between. It's about 65 feet distance. I'm gonna show you guys when the video is going to start lagging. So here is what it looks like. So here is the first room. We're about 30 feet away and there is no lag so far. But once I walk into the last room at the end of this building, which is about 65 feet away, it starts to lag just a little bit. So keep that in mind, but definitely take note that there's about 8 walls between us. Now here is me walking downstairs with the unit, and it does lag here and there. I'm walking downstairs and I'm actually right underneath this room. So the receiver is upstairs above me and it still lags just a little bit, but still very usable. Now here is the heating test. I left the unit on for 1 hour just to see how hot the unit gets. And so the receiver after 15 minutes, it's roughly around 98 Fahrenheit and 97 Fahrenheit. Now at 1 hour, it's 100 Fahrenheit and 102 Fahrenheit. And there we go. So just wrap things up, the SHIMBOL by TP Mini, let me put it this way, this particular receiver, transmitter, wireless converter for your monitor is very straightforward, very easy to use. There's no apps to it. You just plug and play, plug in your battery, plug in your cables, pair, and that's all you have to do. So there's no like craziness in terms of setting things up. If you saw the heat test, you saw the latency test, if those are okay on your end, this is probably the product to get. So with all that said, thank you guys for checking me back. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely click like and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, all right? Take it easy. Peace.